Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the iceHQ Ice Rink in Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia, on Warrinjoy, Woiwurrung traditional land for the CCM National Women's Tournament 2003, Day 2. It's Saturday morning here in Melbourne, and it's a beautiful, bright, sunny day after it rained all night last night. It rained on everyone's souls too, I'm sure. I'm Carl Brewer, and joining me this morning for her first time is Britt Jackson. Welcome, Britt, to the commentary team here for the National Women's Tournament. It's great to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
It is going to be a lot of fun. So we have 9 games today, 3 this morning, and then another 6 starting at 3:45 this afternoon, while one of the players decides to fire a puck at the commentary box. Thank you very much. By midnight tonight, every team will have racked up 5 games each. Now, Britt, that's 5 games in about 36 hours. Most players would be fairly happy with 5 games in 5 weeks, or maybe 2 or 3 weeks. So it's a very, very big ask, in particular for our interstate teams who've come in from Central Coast in Arena in New South Wales, and from Adelaide, and also from the West Australian Quackers who've come all the way from Perth. So they're not playing this morning. They get a little bit of a sleep in, but it's going to be a big day for them. Certainly a lot of hockey. We saw the effects of that in the games yesterday. In the second game, the fatigue was starting to really build up, and that affects not only speed, but also skill and decision making. And we saw some pretty interesting decisions being made throughout the second half of some of the games, especially when the girls are under pressure. It's still possible at the moment for any of the teams to finish on top of the ladder. If you have a look at the ladder on Hockey Site, you can have a look at all the statistics there. But any team can finish anywhere at the moment. But after this morning, that will change a little, and we may see some solidification. Both of these two teams are yet to win a game, and they would both dearly love to. We'll see how it goes. So we've got the Flaming Galahs this morning playing against the Melbourne Furies, and they are yet to record a win. Yesterday, the Furies went down 7-2 and 7-1, and the sorry, I'll get the right sheet in front of me here, and the Galahs went down 4-1 and 3-1. So both teams unable to score particularly effectively, and the Galahs in particular spent a lot of time in the penalty box in their second game. They gave away 16 minutes of penalties, Britt. Now that's more than a full period. So Britt, what are you expecting to see this morning from these two teams?
Yeah, I think, as you said, it's a lot of hockey. It's a long day for everyone, and you want to see some early scoring chances, try to get on the board. It's cool. 2 Melbourne teams. We're yet to see a win from either of them, as you said, and it'll be cool to see.
Yeah, so someone will probably win today. We're about to get the puck underway. The Furies in the blue and with gold sleeves, and the Melbourne Flaming Galahs in the white with the pink. Britt, over to you.
So we've got the Furies. We're in their defensive zone at the moment. Tucked into the corner. Galahs are coming up, crossing into the neutral zone.
That's the superstar yesterday for the Furies in Sarah Edmonds making a break, but she's controlled by the Galahs.
Seeing a bit of a tussle in the neutral zone, breaking out into the...
Sarah Edmonds passing the puck across, but just fluffed there on the shot. McNabb tried to get the shot in.
Back into the neutral zone, into the Galahs offensive. Go for a shot, and it's blocked by Sarah Edmonds.
Edmonds doing a good job early on, but they did use her a lot yesterday, and she made a big difference to the game.
Sarah Edmonds going for a breakaway, and going for a shot, and they've
Edmonds takes
the scoring board here.
Edmonds opens the tab up for the Furies. It's the first time I think they've led a game throughout the tournament so far, so they'll be pretty happy with that. And the goal horn is misbehaving at the moment. We should have got that. So Edmonds, not sure if she got an assist on that at all. Britt, did you see a pass to her?
No, it looks like a clean breakaway from the neutral zone.
She might have almost got an assist from Tess Wilkinson, who did unfortunately fall on her backside there for the Galahs just as she came through. And that did open up that room for...
Furies back into the offensive zone, going for a shot. Oh, and it's swiped away by the Galahs. Crossing back over into the neutral zone.
It's easy to spot Jackwitz today. She's decided to wear the gold helmet, and there will be much stirring about that. Yesterday wearing the black, but today Jackwitz has decided to wear that gold thing. I did warn her if she wore it, she'd get trouble. You can see the speed difference there. Jackwitz quite quick, but beaten to the puck by the Galahs defence, who sensibly drive it back up into the defensive zone for the for the Furies.
The Galahs are going for a few shots on net here. Back behind the net, trying to tuck it over. Can't manage to secure it. The Furies have got some coverage across the net.
Jack Witts clears the zone for the Furies. And now the Galahs do the same. Puck is tied up in the neutral zone.
Going for a change for the Galahs. Some fresh legs on the ice. And the Galahs hit it up into their zone. Covered by the Furies, sent back out.
Nice back movement there by Natasha Hudson. She was almost caught offside, but the Galahs managed to sort it out and just hold off on putting the puck into the zone. Debbie Bowles now trying to play the puck, but it's bobbled down high in the slot. It's a shot in from the Galahs. Sorry, it was the Galahs.
Yeah. And the Furies take it out of the zone, running it down the ice. Shot on net, and it doesn't quite make it. Galahs hit it back out, crossing over into the neutral zone. And it's just sliding up the back of the net here. Ooh, and the Galahs intercept a shot there. And they're shooting it back, crossing over back in, goes for a shot and doesn't quite make it. Coming back around the net. It's a one-on-one Fury Galahs crossing up the ice. And the Galahs are back into their defensive zone with the puck.
Puck bobbles around high in there. A little bit of a deflection. And Galahs pretty keen to clear the zone. They're still stuck in a defensive press while the Furies get a change.
Galahs stealing the puck away, backing, crossing the neutral zone. We've got Wishart following it up the ice.
The player there with the puck is Poppy Kelly, who had quite an effective night last night. She's very fast, but she got used a lot too last night, as we have Edmonds now moving through the zone and gets through a wall of three. Loose puck and picks up her own rebound, tidies up, and we are now seeing a 2-0 lead to the Furies, which is not what anyone expected to see this morning. I think if you were a betting player, you would have kind of bet the other way, but Edmonds there doing the damage. She did score 3 goals yesterday, and now she has 2 today, I should say, and both of them solo efforts through a lot of traffic. So great play there by Edmonds.
All right, and the Furies won that face-off, but it's in possession by the Galahs in their defensive zone.
Beck Jennings not quite able to keep the puck in. It did bobble just outside the blue line. So what that means is that the puck, all the Furies players were then put offside. They have to come out and they'll have a face-off on the face-off dots just outside the offensive zone for the Furies. So if the puck comes out of the offensive zone, all of the Furies players have to leave it before any of them can go back in. That's the basics of the offside rule in ice hockey.
The Galahs take possession in the neutral zone, crossing over. And shot on net. That was by McPherson. Galahs still in possession. Oh.
I haven't seen Zara Dennis on the bench this morning for the Galahs, which is unusual. She was quite effective yesterday, very potent scoring player. And that's something the Galahs have certainly needed.
Ooh. And the Furies hit it out of the defensive zone.
So their priority, the Furies, when they've got the puck down in the defensive zone, is they want to get it out past that blue line and force the Galahs to turn around. If they can do that with a reasonably high level of regularity, then it denies scoring opportunities, and the other team just has to keep turning around, and it clears them out and forces them to go back and chase and get the puck, which is what they want. This time, however, we have an icing. If you're not familiar with the icing rule, if you play the puck from your own half, so behind the red line in the middle of the rink, and it crosses the goal line at the other end, the puck is then brought back to a face-off dot in your own defensive area, and you're required to play a face-off in the defensive zone. Another rule is the defending team that's committed the sin of icing is not allowed to get a change. Most times in a stoppage you can change, but in an icing situation, you're not permitted to change. Everyone stays tied.
And we've got the first shot, first goal for the Flaming Galahs. I didn't quite see who shot that.
And that is the consequence of that icing. They couldn't get a change, and as a result, they were stuck on the ice. Bit of fatigue. The Galahs swept on the loose puck from the face-off and managed to tickle the twine with a nice little goal there to give us a 2-1 lead to the Furies. A good start for the Furies, but the Galahs with a bit of a comeback. They've got 4 shots to 3 on the net so far, with just over 7 minutes to go in the first. We're about to have a puck drop while they get themselves organised for the play.
Furies win the face-off. Bit of back and forth, and the Galahs managed to steal it back into their offensive zone.
It's Poppy Kelly skating all around the bit, doing all that puck carrying that we're so used to seeing from her.
Goes for a shot on the net, doesn't quite make it, hits the post. And she's continued to carry it around up the back of the net. Some good defensive play there from Bleakley. Whoop.
So Poppy made that pass up into the high slot position and looked for the connection and the shot, and they managed to do that quite well. But the goaltender there for the Furies in Sarah Nemi did a great job. She had a huge workout last night, Sarah. She got an awful lot of shots on her, but she held up quite well, and she did a good job there too. Poppy Kelly had the puck behind the net for a long time and forced a lot of defensive confusion. That movement when you've got the puck is what breaks up defensive patterns. She tried to get that pass up into the slot and was successful with it, but Nima was there in the way and made a nice save.
Furies win another face-off.
There's that magical feet call. If the puck gets stuck down in your feet, you often have no idea that it's there, and that's where your teammates should be, ideally, if they have the presence of mind to do it. Just yell out feet, which is a bit of a reminder that the puck's down at your feet.
Bit of traffic in front of the net. Galahs going for a couple of shots here on net.
Clarkson not able to finish off the shot in. She had a good opportunity for a tip in, but couldn't get a stick on it.
And the Furies attempting to hit it away, and it crosses back over the blue line. Galahs with it back into the offensive. Got a shot on net by Wilkinson there. Bit of tussle in the corner, another shot on net.
It's an interesting thing there with Wilkinson moving in. She's normally playing defence. You can see at the moment there's a lot of Galahs in high in attack, and not much in the way back of defence. They did have Emma Poynton back covering the blue line, but now they've just got the one defensive player covering the blue lines. If the Furies do get past them, they've got a problem. But in this case, it will be an icing. The Furies do get the puck all the way down the other end, but a little bit too far, so it's crossed the line for another icing and they get back. But the Galahs want to be a little bit careful. Wilkinson involved herself in the attack, and that's fine. We'd love to see a defensive player getting involved in attacks, but then they had no one back covering for her, and they ended up with just Poynton on the blue line covering up for her. And if someone had got past them, like, for example, Jackwitz or Edmonds, then it would have been a world of trouble. So they want to be just mindful of that. You can see the defensive players pinching up a lot up from the blue line as well on the face-off. It's a risk. They choose to take it. You can argue that hockey's all about risk management, but it gets a bit dry.
We've got Ryland taking the puck into the offensive zone. A little bit of a turnaround there. Saved by McPherson at the back of the net, back into the corner of the ice. And we've got a shot on net. Saved by Nima there. And it takes a high hit back into the other side of the corner. Shot on net by Poynton. Doesn't quite make it. Back into the corner. Galahs still have possession of the puck. Taking it, gliding it slowly back into the middle. And the Furies secure the puck. Oh, and it's intercepted by Poynton there.
So the puck cleared out of the zone by the Furies, which does buy them an opportunity for a change. They'll need to do it quickly. Because here come the Furies again, and so here come the Galahs again. It only just got out of the zone, and Poynton was there to tidy up the mess. But this time they clear the puck.
Galahs managed to get it back into their zone, and then it's picked up by the Furies. Managed to keep it on their side of the blue line, but the Furies have possession.
A little bit of a messy change there too by the Furies. Marie Stella just a little bit slow getting on the ice, which did leave a little bit of a gap, but they've managed to close it up now. And they've got full even strength on the ice.
We've got Edmonds running it up the ice, covered by the Galahs, and it's sent back into the neutral zone.
It's good play there by Sarah Chong. She saw that her players are offside, but she was under defensive pressure, so she just threw the puck into the threw the puck deep in attack. It does mean that the players still have to come out, but it buys time to get a little bit of recovery and buy some space.
We actually saw an accidental shot on net by an own Fury player there.
It does happen.
Edmonds running it up the ice. She's covered by 4 of the Galahs players, and they managed to steal it back.
Edmonds is going to need some support if she's going to be effective. She has scored the first 2 goals, and the Furies will, and the Galahs will be well and truly aware of just how dangerous she is.
Yeah,
but,
they're certainly covering her there.
What that does do, though, is if there's 4 players covering one, there's 4 unmarked players. So it's 3 unmarked players, and so if the Furies can take advantage of that, then they will be able. If Edmonds can get passes away, or at least have some support with her, then that will open up more scoring opportunities for them.
We just saw a good play. We've got Kelly. She's got a bit of a warm stick at the moment. Couple shots on net. A good breakaway chance. Just then, another shot on net. Gets rebounded back into the corner of the ice, and it's hit out of the zone by the Furies.
And that will be iced again. So you'll notice there that McNabb for the Furies was skating down very quickly towards the other end of the rink to try and beat the puck to the boards. It is possible to beat the puck in this level of hockey. So if a player from the team who does ice the puck gets down to where the referee thinks they would win the race to it, then the icing is waved off and play can continue. So that's why McNabb for the Furies was chasing down as quick as she could, but she didn't get there in time, and so the icing is held, and the Furies have to do a defensive face-off. But this time McNabb manages to get out and steal the puck.
Back into the Fury zone. Galahs in possession. Edmonds managing to steal the puck, going for a breakaway here. And a shot on net.
And Edmonds showing us just how much skill she's got. We'll get to see this on the replay. She goes around the goalie from what's a pretty bad angle. So if you watch the replay here, you'll see she's behind the line, pulls the puck around the front, commits the goalie. Goalie goes down, gets stuck, and then just tucks the puck in behind her. So very nice play there by Edmonds. She's so far got 3 for the game, which equals the number of goals she got yesterday in total against the Galahs. So this gives the Furies a 3-1 lead at the end of the first, which I don't think anyone would have predicted. But it has been all Sarah in terms of goal scoring for the Furies, and the Galahs with a bit of work to do. They're going to have to see if they can get a few more shots. They're not missing shots on goal. They've had 15 of them. They just haven't been able to get past the Galahs defence. The Furies defence. The Furies have done a pretty good job of owning the space in front of the net and creating congestion. So the Galahs will need to try and break that up and create a little bit more movement, a bit more confusion in the Furies defensive zone in order to try and get past Nima, who's doing a pretty handy job of keeping most of those shots out. She has made 14 saves so far in the first period. Now, as we know, Britt, it's going to get interesting through this game because they're going to get tired, and they have played 2 games already yesterday evening. Now, I don't know about you, but that's a lot of hockey.
It's a lot of hockey.
And this is their 3rd game for both of these teams. They do have the advantage. Home teams, you go home, sleep in your own bed, all that sort of nice recovery stuff, and that does make a difference, which the interstate teams will not have the advantage of. But it's a lot of hockey. So what else do you think the Furies need to do?
I mean, yeah, the Furies, as you said, we've got the Galahs covering Edmonds mainly. She managed to get away just then, but I think just a bit more positioning and support for their offense would just give them a couple more scoring opportunities.
They've had the run of the game. They just haven't been able to capitalise on it. I think they're just missing out on a little bit of scoring prowess. I want to see Poppy Kelly, who didn't manage to score any goals yesterday. I think she would have been a little bit disappointed with that. If she can find the net, that would be pretty... Oh, no, I tell a lie, she did score 1. And we know she can do it. The Furies doing a pretty good job of just creating congestion in front of the net. But if they can get shots from a little bit further away and capitalise on some rebounds, which they're going to get, then I think that might start to swing the pendulum towards the Flaming Galahs. But we'll see the puck about to get underway. Puck about to be dropped for the 2nd period.
And it's won by the Furies, but it's taken by the Galahs. And the Galahs hit it into their zone. Running it behind the net. And right into the high slot. And the Galahs go for a shot. Bit of chatter around the front of the net. And the Furies manage to take possession. But it's still into the Galahs zone, and it's picked up by Dolan there.
A little bit of a sneaky backhand by Jess McPherson, not quite able to get past Naima, who covered it nicely.
Fury's still trying to hit it out of the zone, and it's crossed over the blue line. Galahs managed to take back possession, crossing it back over by Dolan. Shot on net, and it's managed to be blocked by Nima.
Nima's certainly had a workout in this first opening stanza of the game.
And the Furies carry it out over. Oh, and a excellent block from Wishart there. Bit of a Superman dive.
Yep. It's illegal in C grade here in our B League, but you can do it in other grades. You are allowed to leave your feet in pursuit of the puck. It does take you out of the game, though, so you better make sure you get it.
Yeah,
if you're going to make that move, you want to be sure. It's the old saying that you can do anything if you're 100% sure it will work. But if you're not, don't do it. It does take you briefly out of the game once you're off your feet. So a calculated risk. And we are still seeing the puck moving around. Haven't had too many whistles this game. It's been fairly even flow.
We've actually seen Galahs in possession of it for the start of this period. We're currently in the Galahs offensive zone, trying to hit it out, but the Furies are managing to get in front now. Galahs in possession. We've got Wilkinson running with the puck. Tries to hit it into the high slot. Shot missed.
Just kind of bobbled over the top of everyone that time. It's those little bobbly high shots can go over the top of a goalie and sometimes catch them unawares. But they didn't have that luck in that occasion.
And they're running away. We've got Costello in possession of the puck at the moment. Hits it into the offensive zone, but it'll be picked up by a Fury.
Just trying to work out what positioning the Furies have organised for this game. They're a little bit more stable with their positioning than they were yesterday evening. I think they've got Debbie Bowles maybe playing centre by the look of it. She'd be pretty effective there. It's a very confident and powerful player for the Furies. Here comes Poppy Clark with some time and space. She gets around Chong.
Kelly's still running with the puck.
She's got Clarkson driving for the slot with a stick on the ice, but Clarkson tied up. Now Poppy Clark trying to find a move.
Can't manage to find one, going a little bit back and forth behind the net and up the board. And the Furies managed to hit it out of the zone.
Mostly race over now to get a change. They want to sharpen those changes up a little bit. They're still a bit slow at getting back on the ice with the changes. They might be a little bit shy of being pinged for having 6 on.
Galahs go for a shot on net, blocked by Nima. Oh,
Nima
and another shot.
Great rebound save there too. She got the pads down low and kept the Furies in the game there with that one.
Clarkson picks it up, goes for another shot on net. Blocked by the pads again.
That's Dodd being quite effective there for the Galahs. She got a shot and a rebound, but Nima was able to get the pad down in the way and prevent it crossing the line.
Kept into the zone by Wishart there. We're all paired up, and the Furies are hitting it back out of the zone.
Both teams trying to get their changes.
Fresh legs on the ice now.
And we will have a whistle. We'll wait to see what this one is for. Have we got too many players on the ice, or do we have a penalty? I'm not quite sure what the call will be here. Or do we have an icing? Looks like it must be an icing. I'm not quite sure. We'll probably see that on the replay, but we won't get a replay of that. But if you watch it on YouTube, you can roll back through time and see exactly what that was for. But by where the face-off is, that would suggest that it was an icing call. So the Galahs must have played the puck from behind their defensive line, and it must have crossed over the goal line without anyone touching it. A little bit of a tough call there for them, but there you go. That's hockey. It doesn't always go your way.
Galahs managing to take control of the puck, taking it out, breaking it into their zone. We've got Kelly running it up the ice unassisted. Shot on goal, and it's smothered by Nima.
Nice save there by Nima. She got herself in the way. Good positional save. put herself in front of where she was pretty confident that Poppy Kelly was going to take the shot from, and shut it down quite nicely. What we're seeing from the Galahs at the moment is a bit of a one-dimensional attack. They're not really passing the puck. They're concentrating on, in particular, Kelly making those moves, but getting barreled off down into the corner. And just not able to capitalise on that loose puck in front of the net. There's been a few opportunities, certainly one there as well, but they haven't been able to quite get the net front presence to tuck that puck away just yet. It'll come. A sneaking suspicion the floodgates may open up reasonably soon for the Galahs, but it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, they're certainly trying to... they're keeping good possession of the puck.
Well, they've got 22 shots on the net for just that one goal. That's telling a bit of a story.
They're certainly due one there.
They are definitely, if you're just rolling the dice, then you'd be up by now. But Nima's doing a terrific job of just getting herself in the way time and time again. And to their credit, the Furies are doing a good job of having presence in front of the net, just tying up that space, not giving the Galahs those opportunities that they want. But they don't need to clear the puck out of the zone. Jackwitz recognises the threat and is away. It's a 2-on-1 for Jackwitz though, and not in her favour. She's kind of stuck and a little bit isolated. And as a result, the Galahs almost clear the puck, but Bowles manages to intercept it. Keeps the puck in the zone. The Galahs this time hamstrung, but they get the puck past Chong. And it's driven deep into the Galahs defensive zone to buy the Furies a moment to change. Another player who I'm expecting to pop up in this game a little bit more is going to be Ash Elliott. She had a pretty good couple of games yesterday, and good disciplined player. She's only been playing hockey for a couple of seasons. She started as an adult, and came up through our development program here. She's become quite an effective player. And it's very nice to see how well she's doing. She's wearing number 49 for the Flaming Galahs.
Galahs in possession. We've got Chong running it up the ice. Taken back by the Galahs, hitting it back out of the zone. Ooh, and the Furies managed to get that. Ooh, intercepted again by the Galahs.
Chong's pass picked. Shelley Jensen not quite able to clear it. And that creates a good scoring opportunity for the Galahs, but Bowles on the defensive press is putting a lot of pressure on Ryland behind the net. Elliott in front tries to get a sneaky backhand, but it's popped out there beautifully by the Galahs, who clear the side by the Furies, who clear the zone. Bowles now looking around, trying to find a passing lane. Looks up the ice, only sees Walsh, who isn't moving.
A quick change
a little
by
bit
the
stuck.
Galahs.
Bowles there not able to clear the puck. She was looking for passing options, and they just weren't happening. Now she gets the puck out, and Walsh clears the puck out of the zone.
Chong gliding it through the traffic there in the neutral zone. Good pass off to Rank. Wide shot on net.
And with just over 6 minutes to play, we have the Furies 3 and the Flaming Galahs 1. It was all Sarah Edmonds with the 3 goals for the Furies, all of them solo efforts. The Furies have done a pretty good job of containing the Galahs in defence. That's what they need to do. If you're hard to score against, it's much easier to win. They're not leaking like a sieve this game, as they have been in the last couple of games. They had lost seven goals both times, but this time they've only given away the one in the first. It's been a good second period for them defensively.
Kelly here with a breakaway shot on net, and she scores.
And Kelly makes me a liar straight away. And this time she finds her way through. And I think in around about shot 25, they managed to bury the puck, and that's Poppy Clark's with the Poppy Kelly there with her second of the tournament and first for the game. And that brings her back up to a 1-goal deficit for the Flaming Galahs, 2 to the Furies 1. 23 shots there to 4. So the flow of the game very much in the favour of the Flaming Galahs. But the scoreboard tells a different story. It doesn't matter if you get a lot of shots if they don't go in the net. And we have seen some excellent goaltending so far by Sarah Nima. But that time she was well handcuffed by Poppy Kelly, who found space and time and had way too much room to move. She's doing it again. Will she score another goal? No, this time Nima gets in the way.
Bit of tussle behind the net. Got a bit of
a lot of bodies on the ice. It's cold down there. You want to get up and get back on your feet. So we do have a whistle for some infraction. We're not exactly sure what it will be.
Looks like it's
No,
going to be a
looks
penalty.
like we are going to have, that is, Clarkson will be doing 2 for something. And as a result, the Furies with their first power play, and the Galahs will have to kill the penalty for 2 minutes. This was their big undoing in their last game. The Galahs, they gave away 16 minutes in their previous game, which is more than an entire period of the game where they had to play a play short. I want to try and avoid that if they can. We'll see if the Furies can take advantage of this, or at least with a penalty. With a penalty, you want to make sure you don't get scored against. Scoring a goal is a bit of a bonus.
Galahs have possession since the face-off. Managed to steal back by the Furies. Back into the neutral zone. Furies try to cross over.
Jackwitz just drops the puck. Must be that gold helmet. Can't see where she's going.
Back behind the net by the Galahs. And got a little bit of traffic in the corner there. And it's hit out by the Galahs.
Poynton gets past Chong, and she's got a 1-on-none breakaway. Rings it off the post. Poynton not quite able to capitalise it. Coat of paint there was the difference. Almost got a short-handed goal. Jackwitz now receives the puck from the Furies, and can they get a scoring opportunity? So far, a pretty effective penalty kill by the Galahs. They got plenty of chance to practice it yesterday, so they've had a lot of practice at penalty kills.
They actually look a bit more comfortable on the penalty kill.
Poynton again, just circling around, looking for opportunities to get past the defence, and there it is again. Will she take it? No, decides to go for the change. A good decision for Poynton there to get off the ice and get the change.
New line for the Galahs.
We have just 30 seconds to go on the penalty kill. We have seen a scoring opportunity there at 2 Poynton, and she was a bit unlucky. It rang off the post. There will be just a coat of paint in that one. The Furies now trying to clear the puck up the ice, but only as far as the forecheck of the Galahs. Bowles trying to clear it out. And we are back to 5-on-5 hockey. That winds up the penalty, and the shot comes in right on the re-entry of Clarkson back onto the rink. Didn't actually play a part in the play, but the Galahs now have even the score just at the end of a penalty kill, and it will be 3-all. And the Galahs not able to capitalise on the penalty kill, on the power play that they had. They did a reasonably good job of controlling it in the first half. They did get that opportunity for Poynton, for the Galahs on a breakaway, who got behind Shelley Jensen and managed to get one A-grade scoring opportunity, but couldn't convert. But the second time around, just at the conclusion of the penalty, there was mere seconds after the penalty was over that they managed to, the Galahs managed to find a goal. So it doesn't count as a short-hander, but technically it's not, but effectively it was. We're underway again with just over a minute to play in the second, and we're all tied up at 3 goals apiece.
The Galahs are feeling a bit of a heat now. They're back in possession in front of their net. I think everyone wants a goal now.
Yeah, everyone wants a goal. Well, everyone wants a goal. Even goalies want goals sometimes, but just not on their own net. The Galahs are absolutely peppering the net with shots, and Nima's having another big night. Sorry, big morning. Feels like a night. She's now up to 26 shots on in the just towards the end of the second period. So an awfully big morning. She's made a lot of saves in the last 3 games, or 2.5 games, I should say. So she's been keeping the Furies in the game well and truly.
And another shot on net by Wishart there.
Just to flex the puck behind the net. No one from the Furies really going out and putting a lot of effective pressure, giving the Galahs a lot of time and space around the outside of the rink to create those opportunities to pass across the front of the net.
And it's covered up by Nima.
Nima does the job once more. So we'll see that on the replay. Nima comes across to cover the shot from the angle. We might see it. No, it's a different angle there. That was very nearly, but unfortunately they don't count. Ash Elliott almost managing to find the back of the net. She hasn't scored one yet in the tournament. I know she'd love to. After all, who wouldn't? But that winds up the second period, where we are all tied up at 3 goals apiece. In the first, it was Edmonds scoring twice for the. In fact, in the first, Edmonds scoring 3 times for the Furies to give them a 3-1 lead. Ash Elliott did in fact score that first goal for the Flaming Galahs with Hudson helping her out there for the point. So it was 3-1 at the end of the first, but in the second, the weight of gravity, if you want, or the tilt of the ice conspired to set up Poppy Kelly for an unassisted goal, and then Alexandra Dodd with what was very nearly a short-handed goal there for Dodd when the penalty was just over when she scored the goal. Shots on the net so far, 31 to the Flaming Galahs to just the 4 from the Furies. But 4 of those shots for the Furies, 3 of them have been goals. So it doesn't matter if you don't get a lot of shots if your shots do convert to goals. But the goaltender for the Galahs will be getting a little bit cold. You'd have to think Alex Slade-Baker hasn't had to do an awful lot of work. But when she has been worked, she's been worked by Edmonds, who has done a pretty good job of getting the puck past her. We know just how effective Edmonds is, but she's going to need some help in the first, with all those shots. Most of them been from fairly bad angles. It's safe to say that the Furies are doing a pretty good job of owning the space in front of the net, but they're just struggling to create attacking opportunities, and it's really only Edmonds who's been able to do it. And we've seen certainly a number of effective breaks by the Galahs, by Poppy Kelly in particular, who's made a number of opportunities, quite often driven off into the corner. She does like to carry the puck a lot. That's her style of play. We've seen it through the years that she's been here. She does carry the puck a lot into the zone, but she's got the skill to do it. It needs to get those shots away, but she has now got her second goal of the tournament. She will be quite happy with, of course. Don't we all love scoring goals? And we're about to get underway the last 15 minutes of this game, which will take one of the two teams clearly off the bottom of the ladder, give them a fighting chance to make the finals coming up tomorrow. And the puck is dropped and we're underway.
And the Galahs managed to take possession, hitting into their offensive zone. We've got Kelly racing for the puck alongside Clarkson there. Kept into the offensive zone by Ryland, and then it's hit back out.
And we've got a penalty on Heather Ryland there. 2 minutes for some offence. Looks like interference. So Ryland will sit for 2. Now the rules here about interference are a little bit interesting because it's easy to think that this is a non-contact sport, but it's not non-contact. This particular game is being played, in fact, almost every game of hockey apart from the absolute elite level is played under what's called the non-checking rule, which doesn't mean non-contact, but it can be a little bit of a grey area. You're not allowed to deliberately knock your opponent over, but you are allowed to contest the puck. And if in the process of contesting the puck you do knock your opponent over, it's a bit of a grey area as to whether or not you get penalised for it. The Furies with a chance now to try and give themselves a lead on the power play. Last time their power play not particularly effective. More scoring opportunities were gained by the Flaming Galahs.
Bit of back and forth in the neutral zone here. Galahs managed to keep possession fairly frequently here. Picked up by Walsh and hit back. Furies in possession now. Loose puck picked up by Galahs. Chased to the back by Dolan, going for the shot on net, and blocked by Nima there. Another shot on net, and it's hit into the side. This
time Nima freezes up the puck. Now this works in the favour of the Galahs. Every time you get a stoppage when you're on a penalty, the clock doesn't stop in non-stop time. The clock will continue to run, which runs the time down on Ryland's penalty, which they will be very pleased with, especially if there's a little bit more dawdling around the face-off dot. There's another 5 seconds, another 10 seconds of penalty that they don't have to worry about. There's only 40 seconds to go on this penalty. Can the Furies turn it into an opportunity? They can now. The puck stolen beautifully by McNabb, and she's away. Gets a bit of a chance to get a shot on, and she does, but she, unfortunately for her, passes it straight into the glove hand of Slade-Baker, who makes that one look pretty easy. It's the first genuine scoring opportunity the Furies have had on a power play, and they made it work. But I think they're going to run out of time. They've only got 10 seconds on the drop of the puck or less for this power play. And they need to be careful too, because Ryland will come on behind the play. And if the Galahs can play the puck up the ice, Ryland will sneak out unseen. And in fact, that's pretty much almost exactly what happens, but runs straight into traffic. It was almost straight out of the textbook. Ryland straight out of the box, drives to the net, takes a shot, and very nearly converts that. So I hate to say I told you so, but that's almost exactly what happened. It's so common when a player comes out of the box, straight onto the ice and straight into the play. And it can be very effective. It catches the other team often unawares because they kind of forget that there's a player coming out of the penalty box. And the Furies a little bit lucky to get away with that. So we are still tied up at 3 goals apiece with 11.5 minutes to go in this period. 34 shots on the net to 5. So the ice is very much sloping towards the Furies' goal, but the Galahs have not been able to convert enough of those shots yet. Gravity suggests that they'll get up. But you know what, Britt? Gravity's maybe wrong. Maybe the world is flat. I don't know. I've flown around it. I'm pretty sure it's not. But anyway.
Who can know?
All those satellites. But never mind.
We're in a bit of a stiff play here at the boards. Galahs managed to steal it away, try to tuck it around the net, and it's still stuck behind the net there.
A point in working in Gretzky's off it, but she's had the puck stolen from her by Chong. And the Furies still stuck in their zone, though, unable to clear the net, unable to clear the zone. But now it bobbles out, and that buys them a little bit of time. Again, they don't necessarily, I think they'd be pretty happy with a draw. They'd like to win it.
Jack Witt's taking it away for a breakaway here.
Looking for someone in the slot, looking for the passing option. It's there, but tied up. You've got Sarah Darcy moved nicely into the slot, but was well contained by Lisa Wilkinson. Point a little bit lucky to get away with the pass.
And the Galahs managed to pick it up in the middle.
So there's a good opportunity there. Jackwitz made a good move down the side, and Darcy with a good drive in the side, but Wilkinson saw the threat and tied her up quite nicely. Good play there, Lisa Wilkinson. This time, however, dispossessed by Bowles, who runs squarely into Ash Elliott. There you go. That's fair contact. Neither player will be penalised. Jackwitz with a 2-on-1, but we're going to get a penalty on Bowles for interference.
And we're going to go on to a Galahs power play here.
I've got to say, if I was Debbie Bowles there, I'd be a little bit unhappy about that. I think it could be argued that it was a fair contest for the puck, but the referee decides reality, and the rest of us are merely interested spectators, and that's the call that's made. It's always, with that sort of contact, it is always a judgment call, and the referee's in the best place to see what happened. They're much closer than anyone else to the action. But now the Furies have to kill a penalty, which gives the Galahs a golden opportunity to score and give themselves a lead with just over 9 minutes to play in the third.
Yeah, this is a real good opportunity. We've got Kelly running with the puck here, doing a bit of a run around. I think she's just going for a skate.
It's trying to create a little bit of movement and chaos and break up the defensive pattern by the Furies. You can see the Furies setting up what's called a box defence, where they set up in a box in front of the net, just own that space, make themselves hard to score against. If they can hold that pattern and just deny the Galahs the opportunity to get a clear shot from a high percentage zone, to give the goalie the best chance to make the saves. And that's exactly what they do. They just put bodies in the way, and again bodies in the way.
We're seeing a couple of shots here by the Galahs, but yeah, just not managing to find a good spot to tuck it in.
Yeah, the Furies managed to clear the puck out of the zone, and that forces all the Galahs to have to come out. So with just over a minute to go in the penalty, there's been a lot of shots on the net, but nothing's managed to get through the very capable hands or pads or everything of Nima, who's done a terrific job in the net so far through this penalty kill. And the Galahs clear it again, and this time the Furies clear it again, and this time the puck put back onside, which put all their players offside there, and that was Tia Wishart just not quite able to get a handle on that puck, and as a result, runs the clock down, helps the Furies to kill a penalty.
Got some fresh legs on the ice here.
And they dump it deep. Smart play there by none other than Edmonds, who drives the puck all the way down the other end, forcing the Galahs to have to go back and get it. It takes another 20 seconds.
We've got McPherson going for a shot there, and it's hit back behind on the corners of the goal. Running it up, he's trying to look for a passing opportunity, or tries to hit it high, and it's hit back out by the Furies.
Furies are going to kill this penalty with that remaining 4 seconds. That's going to kill the penalty for them. And look at this. If you don't mind, a short-handed goal to Edmonds there on the penalty kill just before Bowles is due to come out, and that gives the Furies back the lead over the Galahs. I tell you what, Britt, no one would have picked this. What a fantastic effort there. And that was Edmonds who found the gap what often happens on a power play is you get a little bit confident. You think, you know what, we've got control. We've got an extra player on the ice. We can kind of be a little bit chill here and just take a few more risks. Defensive players come up high, and in that case, Edmonds made them pay the price for it. Furies out now to a 1-goal lead with just over 6 minutes to play in the third.
Furies hit it behind the net in possession of their defensive zone there. We want to see a bit more pressure from the Furies defensively. Galahs are getting a lot of opportunities to shot on net here. They clear it out of the zone.
It's Costello battling with McNabb behind the net. And Jackwitz now in the corner tries to put the puck across the front, but there's Galahs back in defence. Jensen now tries to clear it, but is robbed by Gagnon. Can the Furies clear the zone? Right now their priority is just to keep playing the puck up the ice. They don't need to do anything particularly special. They've got a lead with 5 minutes to play. If they can just keep driving the puck around and turning the Galahs around, then they're in with a pretty good chance. They don't need to do special stuff. They've got the lead at this point. Can they hang on to it? Jackwitz tries to find a path through traffic, and the whistle will blow, and we will get an infraction on someone.
We actually just saw a head hit here.
Not sure quite who's going to get the penalty. It looks like they're penalising Wishart. And Wishart asking the question. Like, okay. But that's the call, and again, what the referee decides is reality. So now the Flaming Galahs have a numerical advantage for 2 minutes. Bowles tries to get a shot away from the slot. Now the Galahs have got a 1-goal deficit. At what point do they start to take more risks with the play? Because they want to try and get a goal up fairly quickly. They're at a numerical disadvantage here. We did see them score an almost short-handed goal earlier. A little bit of mess in front of the net, but the puck is frozen. And every one of these stoppages is in the favour of the Furies. It works to their benefit. Every single time it just keeps running the main clock down. It doesn't help them on the penalty clock, but it helps them on the clock that matters. And that's the 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the game with a 1-goal lead. Can they hang on to it? The thing they need to be aware of is when Wishart comes back on the ice, she will be behind the play. And we know she's pretty handy. And also a little bit fired up after that incident, understandably so.
Galahs managed to take possession, running it into the zone. Seeing a little bit of pressure here.
We are now
Shot
into the
net.
CCM final 4 minutes of the game.
Furies managed to take possession. They're running it. We've got Edmonds running it up to the net. Goes for a pass.
Finds Bowles. Bowles not quite able to capitalise on it, but Edmonds retrieves the puck. Bowles looking to get back into the slot. They've got numbers there in attack. The Furies not quite able to turn it into a goal. Very close. Nice play there by Edmonds, who had Bowles in the slot, but just not quite able to get a handle on the puck.
Edmonds back in possession.
Fletcher calling for the puck out in the neutral zone, which would, unfortunately for her, if they passed it out, to put everyone offside. She's going to make that call. She needs to be in the slot. But Edmonds digs around everyone, gets a shot, gets a second shot, gets a third shot. It's still got the puck. How about that, Edmonds? It's pretty good.
Picking up her own rebounds.
Picking up everything. And the whistle will blow, and we are having a tripping call on someone. I'm not sure who it's on. No, that's going to be Poynton coming over to the box for a trip. Now, what will happen on the drop of the puck is Wishart will be able to go straight back on, but it'll be straight back into a penalty kill situation, but will still be behind the play if they can pick up the puck. So very, very briefly, it's 3-on-5, but that's very quickly finished, and Wishart finds her way straight back into the play. And fairly sure she's going to have some aggression and a bit of sparkle in her for the next minute or two. Jackwitz gets a shot through traffic.
You see Wishart already taking it quite physical there.
She's not happy about that, and you can understand it.
So we're in the Galahs offensive zone here.
Under 2 minutes to play, 1-goal lead to the Furies. Not what anyone expected. But we've seen a lot of all 4 of the goals by Edmonds. Jack Witz would like to get on the board as well. Just stick checked by Ryland.
And it's in possession of the Galahs, running it up. We've got McPherson. Kind of trailing it beside her, actually.
McPherson with a lot of pressure on her, but they get a shot on the net. And that is swallowed up by Nima with a nice save there. It was a good pass across in front of the slot to a well-positioned Flaming Galah, but Nima was there and made no mistake with the save. 1 minute and 20 seconds to play, 55 seconds to go on the penalty to Poynton. And
we've got 40 shots on net for the Galahs to Furies 10.
Yeah,
and
Furies
still
have
got
4 goals out of it, though.
There.
That's the way it works. There's a saying in hockey that there's no such thing as a bad shot, and it's certainly true. Poppy Kelly circling around, trying to create space, creating a lot of movement.
Running behind the net, trying to look for a pass. Manages to get one, and it's shot back over the net.
Just 20 seconds to go on the Poynton penalty. What the Furies would like to do now is clear the zone and turn them around. They don't need to score goals, but they do need to put the puck up the other end and force the Galahs to have to work. And just 5 seconds to go on the penalty. And the Galahs all offside.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about that. You're now going to get, because there's a stoppage, you're going to get another 10, 15 seconds of the game taken away. Heavy Bowls slow with a line change. They can just slow the game down. A little bit of gamesmanship here. Poynton will be itching to get back on the ice. And she'll be behind the play when she does. Puck gets dropped and she's straight back into the game. But the Furies did a good job of just slowing the game right down. And they've just got their 20 seconds to play to hold that 1-goal lead. I certainly didn't pick this one, Britt, but I reckon the Furies are going to take it.
Yeah, I mean, they've got 10 seconds on the clock.
All they need to do is put the puck down the other end.
Bowles
knows it. She's trying to clear the puck out.
Wilkinson have possession here, though.
Wilkinson's last dig, and that blows the horn. And the Furies take a unexpected win over the Flaming Galahs, and they win 5 goals to 4. 40 shots to the Flaming Galahs to just the 10 for the Furies. But of those 10 from the Furies, Sarah Edmonds turned 4 of them into goals. So very effective display there by Edmonds. We know she can score. Yeah, and backed up by some, you've got to say, Britt, I think they did a pretty good job, the Furies, of owning that space in front of the net. A lot of shots, but most of them from pretty bad angles. And that made Nima's job a lot easier. Not going to say easy, because a goaltender's job never is an easy one. And she had to do a lot of work there. But most of the shots were from reasonably poor angles, and the Furies did a pretty good job getting back and owning that space in front of the net. If you do that, it's pretty hard to score a goal. So at the end of that game, we now have, off the bottom of the ladder will be the Furies, and the Galahs are the only team now without a win, and they will be sitting on the bottom of the ladder. We will take a 10-minute break, and we'll be back with you at 9:25 for Game 8, and that will be between the Central Coast Stingrays